Hey everybody, how are you? I hope your day has gone swimmingly wherever you're at, whatever you're doing. I really do. Hey, a question for you. Do you think, or does a well thought out and installed landscape convert a house to a home? And if so, why? We are discussing this very question this week, and I am glad you guys are here and you joined me. Hey, it's launch time, so let's get going. You know, professional opinion aside, I think people often make a house or a dwelling a home up to a certain point. As long as you stay indoors, that is, and it doesn't rain outside, it's not windy, you don't have any pets coming in and going out all the time, and maybe you do not give a crap one way or another. Hey, you can lounge in a chair in the backyard surrounded by nothing more than dirt and weeds, just as easy as you can on a fancy stamped concrete patio or uber expensive deck. Am I right? So exactly what does good landscaping contribute to the house versus home equation? Why exactly does modern civilized society find the need to develop the outdoor spaces on their property to various degrees? It is expensive nowadays. You could just allow the natives to take hold. Yeah, more on that in a minute and probably next week. Or you could just keep it weeded and enjoy the minimalistic dry dirt or mud or snow landscape. So why do we do it? Well, my opinion, I believe we enjoy surrounding ourselves with well thought out landscaping because it achieves some human solutions, some civilized human solutions. Well, what do you mean, Coach, about human solutions? Well, it allows for homeowners, their family, friends, and acquaintances to extend enjoyment from the indoor space, our caves, so to speak, that is, weather permitting, outside where many of us like to be. It beats back the native landscape, which would want to take over if given 2 seconds of a chance. It kind of fulfills the need to modernize and complete the outside, that of which already completed on the inside. We get all the fancy floorings or carpets or walls or arts or appliances or whatever for the inside. Most of the time, we want to have something similar on the outside, such as nice fridge on the inside, nice trees on the outside, nice flooring, nice lawn, nice garage, nice man cave, shed, she shed, etc. If nothing else, a well thought out and complete landscape kind of corrals the dirt and what Mother Nature can kind of kick up at you as far as keeping it on the outside. If you go outside on a dirt lot in the middle of summer and 90 plus degree heat, you will feel that reflective ambient heat right off of that dirt. But on a completed landscape with turf or landscaping shrubs or ground covers, water features, obviously a shade covering over your patio, it obviously is going to cool the surrounding land in comparison to that reflective, weed-infested dirt lot that your brand new house is plunked into the middle of. Much like indoors, the landscape performs certain functions throughout, believe it or not. Like it creates, just like on the inside, it creates an outdoor living area where you can hang out and enjoy things out of doors and not just indoors. It provides storage areas, possibly for extra tools or small business purposes or a litany of things. It also, in some cases, even does food production from vegetable gardens that you've created or small hobby orchards that you can harvest throughout the year. Also, you can do things like play areas and lounge areas, private areas, intimate areas where hot tubs and things like that are. You know, an adage that I was exposed to many years ago, is taking a 5,000 square foot mansion in the middle of a weed infested lot is still a nice mansion I guess. I mean, it still has that 3 or 4 car garage. It has fancy amenities on the inside, but does it garner the same level of notoriety than the same size house or the same exact house with a completed, well thought out and well done landscape around it? Hell no. Hell no. No way, right? Plain and simple. It looks like it's not done. The first thing that comes to mind is nice, but incomplete. Or when are they going to finish it? It might be the Taj Mahal inside, but first impressions are hard to overcome until something tangible is brought to bear on the property. You know, in many places that have HOAs in place. Now, let me just go right on the record right now. I'm not a big fan of neighborhoods with HOAs. I understand their purpose, but sometimes they tend to get carried away just a little bit. But in many HOAs, this is a major charter of the new builds in the neighborhood. They must, and oftentimes it is written right in the bylaws, they must have approved landscaping in and done with a short period of time after the home is complete and occupancy is underway. Usually what I saw was 3 to 6 months, depending on the location and type of development that was present. For instance, like, you know, country club developments or dense suburbia, etc. You know, what about those rural 5-acre ranchettes or 2-acre ranchettes? The properties folks step up to escape the densely populated burbs or city life. The larger, the more expensive, right? So do larger properties like that deserve well thought out landscaping as well? Hell yeah. Maybe not all 5 acres, certainly not all at once, unless you were that dude in California that hit the Powerball. Maybe not all at once, but certainly a good percentage of the area immediately surrounding the dwelling. Otherwise, that house in a cleaned up construction site is going to get away from you weed-wise and Mother Nature-wise in a right quick hurry. Plus, the longer you delay that landscape development, the harder that landscape is to recapture, and the extra cost of that recapture will be tacked on, whether you DIY it or you bring in someone or some combination of both. The development can range in any application from, okay, turf only this year for now, to a complete, multifaceted, thought out, designed landscape done one time, start to finish. It will never be cheaper than yesterday, no matter how you look at it. I have worked with some folks who really had the forethought to get a professional on board as construction was being completed. It was my job to draw up designs, get them approved by the client, and maybe an HOA board, whatever it was. And all the landscape cost, what they did was they wrapped it into the construction loan of the home and the property itself in one neat package. So it was already kind of, paid for. They knew how they were going to do it. Then they refinanced to a conventional loan after all the construction was complete. All of the construction. The landscaping is construction. Do not think it is not. But think about it. One time, done. Done and over with. No dust, no mud, no snow. Develop driveways, walkways and pathways, whatever it is, now you have an outdoor contribution to the indoor hygiene. Plain and simple. That is one way to do it. But if you think you cannot afford a full-blown cost of landscape, DIY or not, imagine the maintenance inside and out of your home if you just do nothing. Weeds, dirt, mud, ice, snow, pets, kids, any number of things. I know I've had a couple of new homes in my lifetime, and I cannot imagine having that scenario ever again if I didn't jump on it. I mean, my God, I had young kids at the time, and they would have just trampled dirt and mud all over brand new carpets and flooring, and Jesus criminy, I can't even imagine the living environment. But you can bring a whole other level of stress if you don't jump on this. The stress upon the new homeowners. You had enough already going through the build, going through the purchase, the financing, all the other crap that goes along with it. And now you're having to deal with, yeah, we're in the house, but oh my God, my new carpet is ruined. Or my flooring is constantly just mud track. And that doesn't bode well for a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Copacetic living arrangement. So, does landscaping help complete the house to home completion package? Yes. I would say even a resounding hell yes. This is an arena you chose to get into. That being a homeowner, that being you got to do something outside. Why not be the most responsible homeowner you can be and do the outside as well as you did the inside? You will thank yourself after, I guarantee you that, in a number of ways. Number one, your property value is going to increase if it is done correctly that way. Your enjoyment 7 to 8 months or more out of the year, depending on where you're located, will certainly be a lot higher. And in many cases, there will be no nag from the bleacher seats inside or from the neighbors themselves. Your pride of ownership is certainly going to increase as you know things are done right one time. You swallowed that big frog first thing. Your big responsibility, you choked it down. Got it done, and now small incremental improvements can be added as you see fit. Don't forget this. Don't forget this. If you do an initial landscape to satisfy HOAs, the property hygiene, the spouse, the mother-in-law, whatever, but you have plans for other things down the road, place some needed infrastructure ahead of time. Put it in place so that when that project down the road does come about, you may not need to destroy your whole yard to get that other project started. For example, irrigation pipes pre-installed ahead of time and capped for future use. Maybe for a large veggie garden, maybe for a shop, maybe for a dog run, maybe for a car wash bay. I don't know, but think about it ahead of time. It's not going to cost you very much extra by throwing an extra pressurized line from wherever to wherever. You got the trencher, you got the pipe, you got the glue and primer, do it. Another example would be the electrical conduit for a future building or other use is underground already and stubbed with a pull string in the area that you know is probably going to be the hot tub area or a new shop or a water feature, whatever electricity might be needed, So think about it ahead of time. Done once, period. So what are your thoughts? Is a house a home sitting on a bare dirt lot, or is it still kind of incomplete? I'd really be curious to know your thoughts. Plans or a design on paper still equal mud in the house until you actually act and bring those plans to life. I've been there. My second home was a brand new home in a development, and no landscaping back then was provided, front yard or back. CC&Rs gave you 6 months to at least complete the front yard landscaping. Young kids and dirt, plus new carpet, etc., made, like I told you, for very unruly living conditions. So I got on it. I got to work pretty fast. I had the front and backyard was done in about 4 months, including a little nightmare, subbing out my concrete finishing, not the forming, but the finishing, to a team of Samoans, great guys who were back on the job at 2:30 in the morning, 2:30 in the morning, to wash and complete an exposed aggregate walkway finish. Yeah, I'll never have exposed ag ever again. That was basically because they couldn't get a truck until like 3 o'clock, and it was well late into the fall, so late pour, late finish. But hey, that's what memories are made for, I guess. Hey, that's what I kind of have for you this week. Can you picture it? Do you know somebody in your circle of influence? Or maybe it's yourself. You got a new build going on? Don't delay. The only reason you would delay is because of the time of year that your house wraps up. But as soon as you can, the snow is gone, maybe the mud season is kind of gone as well, jump on it, guys. Jump on it. That way you stay ahead of that curve. And that house becomes a home. as always, to your landscape success. I sure appreciate it. If you haven't, jump over to the YouTube channel and check out this week's Plan of the Week. Don't forget the website too. Holidays are here. If you know somebody that could really use some landscape education, I'd appreciate you checking out the educational products over there. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.
Thank you for listening to the Yard Coach podcast. Don't forget to head over to the website at youryardcoach.com, where you will find more DIY landscape education, including the free 15-step DIY landscape checklist, Coach Matt's ebook called Landscaping Simplified, and the flagship digital course, Homescape 1.0. As always, if you have any questions or comments, you can email Coach Matt directly at youryardcoach@gmail.com. We'll see you right here next week.